Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play Occult Chronicles. In the last episode, Dr. Whom double-backed? That's right, you said the right thing, Tim. Double-backed from exploring this part of the mansion after discovering it was kind of a dead end, and has made his way all the way over to here, picking up quests and getting a few more points of statistics under his belt. We're going for a persuasion deception edge next, in quite a deviation for myself, and then we will probably add a skill card, something to improve my pentacles, I believe is what will happen next. Alright, oh nice, we also found the way down. I should have walked downstairs though, to mark it on the map, so we're gonna do that really quick. That way, if I fall down to the basement through some unfortunate incident, we will be able to know where we need to go to get back up into the mansion proper. And because it has been a few days since I last played, we have the Black Heart, giving us +1 card and +1 trick for all evade traps. We have a fully charged Thoughts Acquire Speed, a map for +1 wands, and the Death Arcana card to help us. Well, we won't die by losing all our life. This card will then vanish and we get 5 life back if it comes down to it. We also have these edges. Haven't gotten any edge upgrades yet for them. 2 clues and quite a few quests. We also have encountered one of the mansion faces so far, and we survived. We actually beat it off, if I recall correctly. We can get a gun in this room, but we might have to get lucky to do it. We're here. We'll see. Oh, how lucky we can be! Or we can get a haunted stuffed crocodile. You immediately notice the enormous 12-foot stuffed crocodile displayed prominently in the room, which is adorned with many other eccentric collector's pieces. A sudden chill shoots down your spine as the tail of the crocodile begins to sweep back and forth. The eyelids flick open, and you know something is terribly wrong. You can't be sure whether this thing is alive, undead, or animated by some dark sorcery, but it certainly looks hungry. No reason why we shouldn't play the king instead of the queen. And we definitely won this horror challenge. You see things far worse than this. The crocodile turns to face you, and you can clearly see the stitches that indicate that this creature was stuffed and then reanimated, probably as a guardian for this place. Its gaze is locked on you, and it slowly starts to advance towards you. Well, we have an equal chance to use sorcery or to attack. Let's use sorcery, because we have plenty of, well... So if we win this, we can gain life as a reward. If we win this, we gain sanity. We can probably pick up wounds or impairments, though. So why don't we... we'll use sorcery. Guardians like this are animated by dark sorceries, and they're almost always a way... And there is almost always a way to break the spell and snuff the threat out at the source. But probably not with this hand. Oh, or yes with this hand, just barely. You channel your energy into a stream that strikes the crocodile on the snout and exits behind its tail, breaking the seal on the spirit trapped inside. The guardian will no longer be a threat. Hey, +1 luck. I think this is our first one. You notice several old, broken display cases. Upon closer examination, you see a scattered assortment of mostly antique weapons through the glass panes that enclose the boxes. We're not going to get a bunch, well, granted, we only have 5 draw, but I think we should still try it with a difficulty 1 modifier. If we get any, if we win the challenge, we will get a guaranteed gun. It may not be a good gun, but it'll be a gun, so we'll go for it. Most of the weapons appear to be old and broken and useless to you. You decide to spend a little time rummaging around to see if there's anything salvageable. That is a great hand for this, though. a face card of every suit, and at least a queen with 1 king. So we are not failing this challenge. Ah, that was wonderful. 23 points. Maybe we can get 2 guns, so I don't think that's possible. Still, that's fantastic. You find a few good candidates that might be salvageable. We get a Luger. That's an okay gun, mostly because it can be used again. Sometimes you're in a flintlock. That you can never get more ammo for the flintlock. And plenty of bullets for it. The Luger. Select a non-face played card and bump its value up +2. It takes 2 bullets to use it. I'm going to quickly go back to the main menu, everyone. I do this on occasion just to make sure the game saves, because we can occasionally get a crash, and if that happens, I do not want I don't want to have to redo this again. That was a really fantastic result. Not a shotgun, but still a good result. Your eyes are immediately drawn to the dancing flames. They seem to have no source of fuel, but are confined to a chalk circle enclosing a pentagram. At each point, a small votive candle still burns. Then you notice the robed body sprawled on the wooden floor. You step closer. As you advance step by step, you begin to feel uneasy. You sense a powerful evil presence in the room, and a chill runs down your spine. A face takes form in the flames, and you stop in your tracks. It seems to stare into your soul, and you are afraid. This thing bound within the pentagram is demonic. Of that there can be no doubt. You must focus your mind and overcome the swelling sense of panic that the creature's gaze has sent through your entire being. We are getting some really nice cards today. Can't say I am disappointed with that at all. You have kept your sanity, and you break eye contact with the flaming demon. You'll know better than look it directly in the eyes again. You have stumbled upon the scene of a demon summoning gone wrong. The power within the pentagram circle has obviously lashed out at its would-be master and killed him outright. What the hell was he doing here? Avoiding contact with the demon's fiery eyes, you examine the scene more closely. You notice that the chalk circle has been broken ever so slightly. This must be what led to the demise of the robed figure lying prostrate before you. Who knows what this poor evil soul had in mind that would compel him to consort with demons? You must tread carefully. Maybe he tried to banish the poltergeist by using magic, but it didn't work. This must be the remains of the acolyte of which the demon in the fireplace spoke. He was obviously playing a very deadly game by trying to summon and bind these demons. The name should still be on him somewhere. You carefully search the acolyte's robes and find a small scrap of paper with a name etched onto it in what must be blood. While we're here, let's bargain with this demon. With the chalk circle broken, you wonder why the demon has not attacked you. Perhaps you could try and communicate with it and see what it wants. It's a choice that should be considered carefully. You know from your training that the demon will seek to deceive and dominate you. Not today it won't, though. But not for lack of trying. We could... Let's see... Roll 1 bone, select the revealed trick cards, and bump their card values down. So we'd have to get a 4 or higher to bump this down to a 6 to earn 2 more points. And then we draw a card. But since this is only 5 courage and I only have 5 courage, I don't think I want to use this for a few more cards. I'm sorry, for a few more points, and thus a few more rewarded cards at the end. Initiating the communication via the lost sign language of Childash, you establish contact with the demon. It claims to be a prince of hell, but you suspect it exaggerates. It wants you to do something for it, and it promises to reward you if you hold to the bargain. The demon wants your help, and threatens to kill you and take your soul just as it did the sorry acolyte lying at your feet if you do not cooperate. In this house, a worthless servant of his has been trapped in a ritual of summoning. It was bound by the acolyte to a fireplace as a crude joke. On its mantelpiece is an old slip of paper with writing on it. Bring the paper back here so he can release his servant and punish him. If you do this, he promises a reward fitting of your task. A tall, well-dressed figure looms into view holding a silver platter in one hand as if to offer you an appetizer. Your eyes travel down to the platter and behold half a human head. You feel a surge of panic growing within you. You've been trained to expect and deal with things like this. Even so, no matter how many times you see something like it, it still requires steady nerves to keep calm. You have kept your sanity. Are you the head waiter? You drolly inquire. Standing in front of you is the figure of what was obviously once a butler or servant. You say once because you are sure that what now confronts you is a supernatural entity of some sort. It is the most corporeal ghost that you have ever encountered. You have read of such things in Tobin's Spirit Guide, but you are certain that this is very unusual. You approach the butler and his glowing eyes are fixed on you. The head on the plate suddenly stares up at you as well. "May I help you, sir?" it intones, and you are not sure if you actually heard its voice in your ears or just in your head. Without displaying the slightest amount of unease, you inquire about dessert by telling the ghost, "Yes, my good man. The guests in the dining room are getting a little excited about their dessert. Could you head over to the kitchen and see what the problem is?" "Oh dear, sir, I'm afraid I haven't the time. I'm waiting here to bring the master his supper at the proper time. You can follow your nose to the kitchen and talk to the chef yourself." The butler does not have time to order dessert for the ghostly dinner banquet, as he must await the master to serve him supper. He says that you should go place your order with the chef in the kitchen and then return here for directions. The house itself seems possessed by some psychic entity that can alter the physical aspects of the house itself. It wants you out, and it seems intent on enforcing its demand. You tell yourself to be careful. This thing can probably not only swallow you whole, it can most likely also lobotomize you with a psychic attack. So last time we engaged it in a psychic duel and we won, but that's still not a great chance. Let's try fleeing. You don't need to be told twice to get out, and becoming a treat for this thing is not something you relish. Unfortunately, we don't have great cards. You turn to run, but a tongue-like tentacle wraps itself around your foot and brings you crashing to the floor. You scramble to get away. We'll try that again. Again, not the best card draw for this. There goes more courage. You run for your life and don't look back. You doubt that the mouth will be able to follow you. It will stay there now, though, blocking us from adventuring. And we lost 3 courage from our thoughts acquire speed. You look down and see a large knife resting on a wooden surface. Blood has pooled around it, and there are several pieces of stubby flesh scattered around it as well. Suddenly, you see 2 pale eyes reflected on the surface of the blade. No, not reflected, but rather projected from someplace inside the blade. You recoil in terror from the vision. The eyes seem to pierce through your very soul. They mask a dark and powerful evil will. You shudder and force yourself to resist it. You can feel it probing your psychic defenses. You have shrugged off the evil spirit's attempt to dominate you. You gaze down at the knife, but try to keep your gaze from locking on to the mesmerizing eyes within the blade. You feel an oppressive presence in the room with you. The knife radiates pure evil. You resolve to approach this artifact with caution and wonder how many throats this thing has slit. Flee the knife. The evil presence continues to probe your defenses, seeking to dominate you. You feel that the outcome is balanced on the knife's edge, so you decide to cut and run. You stir yourself to move and break free from the evil presence that lurks within the knife. With one last final mental push, you turn and run. An angry poltergeist of knives! You hear the clatter and swish of air before you can even see it. Then suddenly in front of you is a supernatural cyclone of razor-sharp butcher knives. It's moving right towards you, and you don't have the luxury to panic. You fight to keep yourself calm and not give in to the panic. Well, that was nice. That's even nicer. 2 aces up there. I'll take the victory. Your mind is strong. Your will obeys, and you are ready for whatever comes next. That seems rather vague as an answer. Whatever comes next is going to be an air full of knives. You know a poltergeist when you see it, and this one is armed, dangerous, and mad. These are not good chances. You muster your courage, turn and run. This thing obviously wants to make a point. So this is the big problem playing a character who has to run away. You get nothing for doing it. And if you fail, you lose courage for any feats that you might have had. Yeah, you almost get nothing for fleeing at any encounter. Looking for the chef, though. We're looking for that chef. You come across an odd sight for this house, and that is saying something. Before you stands a 1922 Kelvinator refrigeration unit. Who knows how it got here? You notice that the door is hanging slightly ajar. Your eyes are drawn to the interior of the main porcelain cabinet, and you are shocked by what you see. Jars and jars of eternal organs, some human, some you are not sure of. Your stomach turns at the sight of all the neatly stacked organ jars. The methodical alignments and the precision of the stacking makes you wonder about the evil obsessive-compulsive genius behind this. Refridge... Question mark? Does it? Does it make us wonder about it? I'm not sure. Neither is the game. Ooh, that was lucky, Tim. Could have lost the queen to that king. You aren't going to go looking around for sandwich fixing, but the sight of the organs and tissues, many of them still moving, doesn't really faze you. Rows of neatly stacked transparent jars and specimen dishes containing organs and tissue samples fill the inside of the main porcelain cabinet, each labeled in a neat mechanical handwritten script. Oh my god, that sentence! That sentence! You glance over the labels, noting some of the stranger ones. Krogan, Asari, Drell, Turian. On the bottom shelf is a rack holding dozens of vials, each also neatly labeled. Zigu venom, Trace of the Beyond, Gnat's acid. Probably not worth searching it, but we're here, so we will. A third clue on this floor. You hear a voice coming from everywhere and nowhere. It speaks a clear warning. Get out. I think this was a movie that I'd never watched. It's a horror movie about a possessed house. I remember, like, the walls, like, becoming concave and blood pouring down them from, like, a advertisement for the movie. I should probably rent a few of those old 80s horror movies. But, like, there was another called, like, The Gate that I never watched. My friend Chris has tons of these movies. When I was back in college, I watched all the Hellraisers. God, some of those were so terrible. The first one was good. The first one was nice and creepy. Like, not creepy. It was, well, some parts of it were creepy. It was disturbing. So the rest of them were kind of silly, though, if I recall correctly. And then the We watched Nightmares on Elm Street, some of the Jasons. He has like all those gory 80s horror movies. Oh! The hairs on the back of your neck stand on end before you even see anything. You sense a supernatural presence, an unfocused rage. Suddenly, books, cups, anything that is lying loose are swirling in the air around you. You realize immediately that you are confronting a poltergeist. The anger from the supernatural creature is palpable and seems to flow from its turbulent motion. The rage isn't directed personally at you, but rather the living, a group which you belong to for now. You've seen things far worse than this, have we? There's very few creatures worse for you to fight than this poltergeist. You're confronting a classic poltergeist, a disembodied spirit animated by a powerful human emotion like rage, fear, or even lust. In this case, you sense a general anger directed towards the living. You know from experience that these spirits can be very dangerous. So, normally, I think you only get this option, but I added this, and I added this as options for you in this battle. So, we could dispel the poltergeist psychically, engage in a psychic duel to destroy the poltergeist in this dimension and send it into the spirit world. Banish the ghost to someplace else. You're unable to defeat the creature through psychic means, but you're sure you can make it someone else's problem. Destroy all the things. It seems to be bound to this particular room. If you could destroy everything it could use against you, books, cups, and the remains of those things, it would be defenseless. You grab a piece of wood that was flying in the air towards you. It's time to do some damage. That question mark in the middle, by the way, that's what you get for trying to add a colon into this, and by that I mean the key, the punctuation mark, colon. Well, our best chance is to dispel the ghost psychically. Every time we fail this, the ghost becomes a little stronger. So really, we've got like 1 or 2 chances at this. This is not a good hand to defeat it with, either. We have to be able to play that knight. And we weren't able to. You try to bottle up the psychokinetic energy of this poltergeist, but your mind is not up to the task. It lashes out at you. Your attempt to destroy it has only enraged the poltergeist further. You sense that it really does mean you harm now. Now it's tougher to do all of this. Really, game? Oh, screw you. Now it's even tougher. We'll make one more attempt at this. I'd like to destroy it. Now we have to run, because this is just getting in... Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. I changed this encounter so that it gets stronger once. Normally in the game, it just gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and if you fail it twice, you can't even run from it. So I decided that, no, I don't want that to happen. So, oh, game... We were doing so well earlier, and now we're just losing over and over and over again. Getting the hell beaten out of us. We're not getting a good hand at all. And we're not getting any trick cards that we need either. Oh! Swords penalty -1. Blinded one eye. We should have ran from this a long time ago. Now it's going to be even tougher for us to win. At this point, I just want this to be over. Really, game? Really? Nah. We'll just die here. Torn knee ligaments. -1 swords penalty. Alright, everyone, so we'll have to flee it. And we can't. We'll have to flee again. Resolve is up to the task. You quickly extract yourself from the area that the poltergeist is haunting. With 2 wounds, everyone, with 2 wounds, I'm tossing in the towel. We have failed this mission. There is no way I'm going to be able to win with 1 single sword. That was a big mistake. I just should have fled from the poltergeist like I was fleeing from everything else, and just... that should have been it. Alas, that is not the case, and we have lost. Let's talk about this for a little bit. We will make another attempt, not in this video, but we'll make an attempt at this again, and we'll make another Doctor Whom for that attempt. So, should have ran from this poltergeist. Definitely shouldn't have stuck it out. I thought we could get a better hand. I should have used death. I should have used death to take the king when we had one wound, and just won this fight and just ended it. But I was determined to see if the game would give me good cards. We got good cards early on too. So this was me being like, oh come on game, you can surely give me some good cards. No. And now that we have 2 wounds, it's over for us. I think going for this Precision Session was also a giant mistake. We should not have done that. I just should have gone for another skill card instead and grabbed some more pentacles. Stats are more important than this edge would have been. Much more important. You can see already that without good numbers, we don't get good cards. We don't get good... our cards are lowered. I'm sorry, good cards have nothing to do with it. We don't get good card draw. We don't get good amounts of tricks, and or our target level is too high for us. And all that combined was terrible. So that's it. We will try to get our character to the entrance of the mansion, at which point we will simply have him flee. Because this is beyond him. Yep, the house wanted us out. We are getting out. That is all there is to it. The odd can send someone else who is much better at this to this location. A class 1 haunting. Let's see if we can actually destroy it. Nope. There we go. And it's not gonna matter. Yeah, so this has also been really unlucky for us because we're not getting... We explored almost all the first floor, and we haven't gotten very much experience points from this one either. So this was a really bad... not a really bad... Well, it was a really bad run based on the decisions I did right there. But it also wasn't very lucky. And so we need to get lucky in this game if we want to make a decent character. So that will do it. We're having Doctor Whom flee. And that will do it for this episode, everyone. Yeah, disappointing. Disappointing. But that's all there is to it. All right, everyone. So we'll make a new Doctor Whom, and we will try this... Or no. We'll make a different character altogether, and we'll try this again. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care, everyone.